Finally and proudly, I can say it. We have a first ever Leonardo Officina Italiana metal fountain pen, the Momento Zero Aluminia. Join me in this video and let's discover this marvelous creation. Hello there, welcome. It's your host Aaron from Penventure. You are in for a treat. We're going to have a fountain pen review, and this one is going to be very interesting because we're going to be taking a closer look, premiering at the first ever Leonardo metal fountain pen. And if you would ask me 2, 3, 4 years ago, Amy, how is your judgment in regards of seeing a Leonardo Officina Italiana metal fountain pen? I would say it's hardly unlikely. It is not that easy to just transition and offer something in metal in regards of the lineup of writing instruments for a company like Leonardo Officina Italiana, because they are known for celluloid and resin fountain pens, and the tools, the processes, the finishes, the stages in which such a creation comes together, it's a little bit of a different way than working it from resin. I do believe there was a lot of effort put into this creation, a lot of progress, and this is a opening, and what could follow, it's monumental. The first vibes looking at this fountain pen, it's like seeing an old friend which grew up. This fountain pen I got to meet 7 years ago in Naples when I visited the Leonardo Officina Italiana establishing fountain pen company. So I got to keep one of those models, and this is my Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Marbled Blue. And this was one of the first models. To be honest, it was amazing, jaw-dropping moment. I like the model. It was selling around 125, 150 euros. And could you imagine that 7 years later, it's selling at that price point even today? And with all of the changes, increases in pricings and everything, it still sells at around 150, no VAT. Well, what we have today, it's an elevated, like a grow-up series based on the Momento Zero, something different, but it still gives that old friend vibe, because I do love this series a lot, and I do have a number of them in my personal private collection. Have a look at this in a close-up. As we're going to be discovering this design, you will see that the material itself, it's implying the overall shape, size, different changes here and there. So versus the first edition, we have 3 rings on the cap. The clip, it's a little bit more thinner, streamlined. It's a little bit more refined. Leonardo kept that old friend vibe, but gave it a little bit of a flavor up. Let's see what characterizes this design, how it looks, how it feels. Then we're going to check the details, the textures, the stuff that makes this fountain pen so great. Then we're going to move into maybe a side-by-side size comparison. Let's check it out next to some other Leonardo fountain pens. Dimensions, proportions, pricing, writing sample. We're going to have a very interesting writing sample with a fun nib. And in the end, we're going to conclude everything in some personal opinions of myself. Something that characterizes most of the Leonardo fountain pens, it's the pointy dome shape finial and finial just as well, which is matching. Love this. It is not pointed to a sharp point, but it gives out a very nice tactile feel, and the look overall, it's very cohesive. The thinnest diameter of the cap, it's at this point right here. Then the shape starts to pick up in girth, and the maximum diameter, it's around this point right here. Then we have a very nicely done step down. This is not sharp at all, so the cap feels and looks very flush to the barrel. It's very nicely executed, so it doesn't snag. It's not a sharp edge, anything of that kind. The clip, it's one which is both practical, and it is sporting this small little wheel right here, which helps you clip this pen. It goes in the vintage style of Italian fountain pens and writing instruments clips. This goes out to something like Omas, which back in the day used something like this, I believe on the Ogiva, on the Paragon. So I believe this is something which ties up the design into the vintage inspired Italian scenery. And I do believe that Leonardo did a wonderful job with this classical inspired shape. And if my memory serves me well, I do believe they won a prize for the best vintage inspired design fountain pen. And I don't know if it's this model or the Momento Zero Grande 2.0, but even that one is based on the Momento Zero. The simpler one is just a little bit bigger and overall just like a size up. One complete turn of the cap to uncap the fountain pen. So this is very, very nice for quick notes. Well, when you uncap it, you're gonna have a closer look inside the cap. We have like a Teflon sleeve. On a metal fountain pen, this is very important because it will allow you the posting of the pen without scratching its surface. And also it's gonna keep that nib inside of the cap right here sealed up, so you'll have a nib which is wet. As you uncap the fountain pen, put it to the paper, metal pen, nicely sealed nib, but look at that texture, look at that gorgeous color. This is not an exposed raw aluminium fountain pen. Although it looks like this, although it feels so nicely and refreshing from other metal fountain pens, this is not exposed aluminium. With this fountain pen, you don't run the risk to have it corrode or show up aging or weird textures that may be attributed to liquids, the use of liquids on this fountain pen. So this is a raw aluminum fountain pen with a visual brushed like look. As we turn the fountain pen, we can see the light glistening, and all of that texture is just like a paint brush aluminium. So this is a very rustic, a raw look, but this raw look, it's sealed up by coating, which is a passivated lacquer-like coating, which is going to protect your fountain pen from developing aging, corrosions, and anything that has to do with aluminium when it is exposed. The Aluminia is sporting a size 6 steel nib, at least this one. The fountain pen is also available with 14 karat gold nibs, and this can be the Lafayette nib in extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and the stops 1.1 and 1.5. For elastic extra fine, the one that's on this pen, and elastic fine, you will have them with the laser engraving motif Leonardo with the wings and everything. These elastic nibs are great, and you will see them in a writing sample in just a few moments. And I believe it's the fun compromise in between having a practical nib and a fun nib. Turning the pen like this, we can clearly see that we have a ABS plastic feeder. This is plenty enough flow for such a nib, so there is not a specific need for a ebonite feeder. This is a screw-in nib unit, so let's take the converter out and let me show you how would you take this nib out. You just unscrew the nib unit. You can upgrade in the future for a different size, for a different nib. This is a huge practical bonus that Leonardo Officina Italiana is offering, and you can do that without specialty tools. It's also compatible with other nib units, a Jovo size 6 style nib unit. So if you have Jovo size 6 steel nib units, you can use them, different sizes from other fountain pens. This is a screw-in cartridge converter fountain pen. You can use it with the provided cartridge converter from Leonardo. This is a more weighty version because it has this metal end right here. You can use it both with standard international cartridges and this converter, which is provided. This is one of the most nicest Leonardo Officina Italiana section shapes. This is what started me and a lot of you into this brand. So this is a nice blast from the past. Thinner part, then we have a conic transition which brings the section all the way up to this diameter right here, and I believe this is super comfortable. It's not slippery, it will prevent your fingers from going forward. So let's check out the treads right here. This is not your usual tread profile. This is the ACME profile in treads. Why do they use this tread profile on a metal fountain pen? Well, because it offers a lot of contact surface. So basically the tread profile goes like this, blunt end goes like this. So you tread better, you tread more softly, so the tactile sensation in capping it's quite soft. You will have an improved sealing of the cap. We have the step right here, which is marked by this very nice ring brushed look, and then we have this polished silver look just as well on the trim elements, and this play on texture is changing the way that the fountain pen looks. Although this fountain pen is also available in a gold color trim, that is something that I would need to see in person to see how good it looks and how good it fits on such a pen. We only got the silver version, so in my opinion I would say that silver is my personal favorite. Then the barrel of the fountain pen starts to have its thickest point right here. The diameter starts to thin in all the way up to this ring right here, which is not flushed, so it sticks out a little bit. Then we have the end knob. You can untwist and remove this, and then you can cheat and say that this is piston, or better said, a captured converter filler. So you don't need to take the barrel out in order to just draw some ink into this fountain pen. Overall, this is the Momento Zero Aluminia. Don't forget, if you enjoy my content, give this video a big thumbs up. This will help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And let's get into the fun stuff. Let's put this pen side by side other Leonardo fountain pens to check out its proportions, dimensions. Then let's have a writing sample with that fun elastic extra fine nib, pricing, and in the end we're gonna conclude everything in some personal opinions of myself regarding this pen. Here is a look capped: Momento Zero, Momento Magico, Furore, Momento Zero Grande 2.0. Uncapped: Momento Zero, Momento Magico, Furore, Momento Zero Grande 2.0. The Momento Zero looks to be one of the smallest members of the Leonardo pen family. Capped like this, the fountain pen measures 143 millimeters. Uncapped like this, it's measuring 127 millimeters. Posted like this, it's measuring 164 millimeters. The total weight of the fountain pen, fully inked, posted, or capped, is 44 grams, and uncapped in writing it's 30 grams. It's aluminium, but it is a touch heavier than something in resin. If I would have to do a comparison in regards of the weight, the resin one right here, 26 grams, 44 grams, Momento Zero Aluminia. It's not like double, but it's close to double in regards of the complete weight of the fountain pen. This could be a factor to determine if this is for you or not, but we're going to discuss its weight and a few more details regarding this fountain pen in some personal opinions. Now, pricing. Despite being made from aluminium, metal, which is more complicated to work versus a resin, and I believe it's going to be more costly as a material, well, it's not going to cost that much far from the resin one. So the resin one, it's 150 euros, no VAT. The Momento Zero Aluminia, it's 160 euros, no VAT. If you want to try something like this, it's not that far off from a normal resin, well-known shape, size, and so much popular model of Leonardo. So this could be something interesting to spice your collection up without spending an arm and a leg. Now let's ink up this pen. Let's see how it's writing, and we're going to use Neptune Blue, the Pen Venture exclusive diamond ink, because this is a metal fountain pen. I can take the nib out, I can take the converter out, I can clean this fountain pen very easily. This is a sheening ink, and I want to spice things up with this ink. One of the best things that you can pick for your pen in order to elevate the writing experience with that pen, it's a nice ink, which is good quality ink, and a good paper. Pick something which it's good quality, because inks are basically the writing liquid of your pen. The way the pen behaves, the way the pen feels in writing, and the way it glides on paper has a lot to do with the ink you use and the type of paper. Both this you can have at Pen Venture. We have a great selection of quality inks and very interesting, nice papers just as well. Scroll down, you will find the link for our website and check out the paper selection and also the inks. And a good example is the Tomoe River. This is a paper which is fountain pen friendly. It makes the pen feel smoother and it shows that ink color so good. Let's check out a writing sample with this nib on Tomoe River paper. Pen. Leonardo Momento Zero Aluminia. Ink. Neptune. Blue. Nib. Elastic. Extra fine steel. We have a rich ink flow and the pen just simply glides on this paper without a single hiccup. Love this paper, love this pen, this nib, this ink. Just like I told you, when you put everything together, you have an elevated writing experience. The smile on my face says it all. The wetness. This is a fairly wet ink flow. For an extra fine, so let's check also the sheen of this ink just as well. It's not a sheen monster. It's dry. It's not going to be sticky, gooey, normal. Figure of eights. I would not say this is an extra fine nib to start with in normal without having it flexed or pressed. Now let's flex it a little bit. So go slow. This is not a full flex nib. It will offer you a little bit of a line variation, a little bit of a fun factor, but it's not a full flex nib. So don't treat it like this. Do not press on it super hard because you can bend it quite easily. And now the famous sentence. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. It is a nib which doesn't skip a beat. It is amazing. It picks up just like you put it on the paper. It has a hint of feedback. I love it. It's fun. This is the quality that we all know from Leonardo Officina Italiana and we all grew up to like, because I grew up with Leonardo Officina Italiana. We both started at the same relative moment in time 7 years ago, and I've had many Leonardo fountain pens, many Leonardo nibs, all of them, and all of them come with a quality writing experience, which I can attribute to only Leonardo and Leonardo nibs. Final conclusions. Wow, where do we start? First of all, let me say that a huge step in history have been made with this fountain pen, and a passing into such a material which implies that the company altogether needs to change the way it works, different models, the way that they just use machinery and equipment together with their processes and finishes and techniques. It's a big step up. I know what you see in front of you is just a metal fountain pen. It takes a lot to get from a resin one like that to this, and I know that coming from visiting them for many times, and I've seen them in action with their equipment, with their specialists, with their team, and kudos to Leonardo for not only trying, also delivering this fountain pen. I love the look. I love that they picked something which me and you know so well, like the Momento Zero, so we can clearly have something like a refresh on this model, because it's been some time since we haven't seen something based on the Momento Zero series, and I thought that it was like overlooked. So with this one, I think that they just made a good step forward to spice this collection up and to just give you a reason to welcome one of these pens in your collection, both if you have not had a Momento Zero to this point, and also if you are a seasoned Leonardo collector just like me and you want to spice things up in the Momento Zero series, you have this. As of pricing, I believe it's spot on. It delivers a lot for only 160 euros, no VAT. The tactile feel, incredible. The coating on top, which prevents it from just simply crusting up, amazing. Cap, which keeps the nib from drying, ACME threads, bang on. The only thing that I would say that you need to pay attention to, this is a pan which is heavy. I don't mind that. A small pan which has a little bit of a punch. If you like that, this is the one for you to get. And if you have not had a metal fountain pan, this is not blown out of proportions like 100 grams. It's not to a point where it's ridiculous. It's still manageable, but it's on the heavy side. It's balanced, so it's not back heavy, front heavy. No matter how you use it, it's a well balanced design. This is an amazing foundation for something which is coming. I would like to see a titanium Momento Zero. I see Leonardo Officina Italiana as something of just holding the flag of Italian avant-garde in regards of writing instruments, and I want to see one from Leonardo Officina Italiana. The nib is incredible, the pen is easy to maintain, swap nibs, clean, and it's a joy to use. It's very fun. It's made for everyone who wants to enjoy a metal fountain pen. If you want to get one of these fountain pens, they are on pre-order, available now today. I'm gonna leave you a link down below. You can pre-order one of these writing instruments, and as they will be delivered to us, we will send them out to you. They said mid-May, but I believe it's mid-May in Italy, which is right around end of May. So expect something like this to arrive sometime in the first week of June or something like this. I hope you enjoy my content. Let me know if you have any other questions, suggestions regarding the Momento Zero Aluminia. If you want to say something for Leonardo team, which is watching, use the comment section down below. Let those thoughts reach to them and let them know what you want to just have them improve, or if you want something different from Leonardo Officina Italiana, use the comment section down below. Also down below, you'll find the links for our website, our social media accounts, phone number, email, anything and everything that you may need in order to get in contact with us. Don't forget to support the growth of the Pen Venture YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, click there, subscribe. And if you want to see more of our content, I'm going to leave this right here. You can click and enjoy. I'm your host, Amy from Pen Venture. I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care, stay safe, bye-bye.